Greetings of the day, class. This is Miss Tabassum here, and today I am going to start a new lesson on the topic verbs. But before starting, I must say you what a sentence is. Why? Because for constructing any sentence, a verb is very essential. As you know that a sentence is a group of words that make meaningful sense. And the structure of sentence is subject plus verb plus object. This is the basic structure of a sentence. And the most vital part is the verb. A sentence cannot be constructed without a verb. Now I will say you what a verb is. We have already read earlier that verb is a doing word, it is an action word. So, we know that a verb is a word that describes the action, an event or a state of being. In short, we can say that verb is a doing word or an action word. For example, running, jumping, eating, sleeping, reading, writing, playing. These are all examples of doing word. That means a verb. See the example that I have written. He lifted the weight effortlessly. So what did he do? He lifted the weight. Here the word lifted is the verb because it shows that the word is performing some action. In the next sentence, he donated money to the PM Care Funds. What did he do? He donated some money. So here donated is a verb because it is also describing an action. A verb can be one word or more than one word. It comes after the subject. See the examples. He reads a book. Here the word reads is the verb. In the next example, he is reading a book. So is reading is a verb. In the third, he has been reading a book for an hour. So, has been reading is a verb. And thus, it can be said that a verb can be one word or more than one word. We must always remember that a verb comes after the subject. Now, we will come to the classification of the verb. As you can see on the screen, that a verb is divided into two categories. One is the finite verb, the other is the non-finite verb. The finite verb is again divided into three more categories: principal verb, linking verb and auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb is divided into two more categories, that is primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. Non-finite verb is divided into three categories, that is infinitive, gerund and participles. Today our topic of discussion is transitive and intransitive verbs, which falls under the category of finite verb, and thus we should know what a finite verb is. A finite verb is a verb that changes its form according to the tense, present and past of the sentence, the number and the person of the subject. It is the main verb of a sentence or a clause. See the examples. I read a book. The subject is I. Read a book. So read is the verb here. When I change the subject into he, it will become he reads a book according to the subject verb concord. We will read about the subject verb concord in our next chapter. As I said you, we will read about transitive and intransitive verb. So, see the two types. That is, I have divided that kind of verbs, transitive and intransitive. So, what is transitive verbs? What are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are verbs which require an object to complete their meaning. It means that it needs some object to make a meaningful sentence. The first example, they bought some vegetables. So, What did they buy? They bought some vegetables. So bought is the verb here. What did they buy? Vegetables. And that vegetables is the object here. Here, this vegetable word is the direct object of the verb bought because it answers the question, what did they buy? Bought is a transitive verb because it has the object vegetables. Next, Virat Kohli plays cricket. What do Virat Kohli play? Cricket. So, the verb is plays and the object is cricket. I gave him a gift. What did I give him? A gift. The object is gift. And to whom did I give? Him. So, him is also an object, but it is indirect object. Sindhu won a silver medal. Own. Own is the verb here. What did Sindhu win? A silver medal. So, silver medal is the object here. So, we will discuss what an object is. The object of the verb is the person or thing to or for whom something is done. See the example. The chef cooked delicious pastas for the guest. So, what did the chef cooked? Delicious pastas, right? So, here cooked is the verb. Delicious pastas is the object. And for whom? The guest. Shoaib threw the ball. What did Shoaib throw? The ball. The ball is here an object. Now, object is divided into two types. One is direct object. The other is indirect object. Now, what is a direct object? The direct object answers the question what in relation to the verb. The indirect object answers the question to or for whom in relation to the verb. See the example. Adil gave Arish a pen. What did Adil give Arish? A pen. When we ask the question, Adil gave what? The answer is pen. Hence, pen is the direct object of the verb give. When you ask the question, Adil gave a pen to whom? The answer is Arish. Hence, Arish is the indirect object of the verb give. Now, what are intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs are verbs which do not require an object to complete their meaning. Examples is, as you can see, the birds are chirping. So, here the verb is are chirping and it has no object. So, it is an example of intransitive verb. Next, the child sleeps all day. Here, sleeps is the verb and it is an example of intransitive verb because it doesn't have any object. Now, see, I have written one example. She gave me a gift. What did she give me? A gift. She gave a gift to me. These two are example of transitive verb, right? So, we can write in this way also because though the indirect object usually comes before the direct object, we can also reverse this order by using a preposition either to or for with the indirect object. Like she gave me a gift, it could be written also as she gave a gift to me. Here are two more examples. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Mother boils water for tea. So, what are the verbs in these two sentences? Boils. Boils. And the second also, mother boils water for tea, boils. But see, in the first sentence I have written it is an example of intransitive verb. Why? Because it doesn't have any object. Whereas, mother boils water for tea. What does mother boil? Water. and as a result of that, it is an example of transitive verb. The same verb can be used either as transitive or intransitive, and it depends on how the verb is being used. Now, before ending up, I would like to recap the points that we have read today in our lesson. The first is that verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Transitive verbs need an object to complete their meaning. Intransitive verbs do not need an object to complete their meaning. Transitive verbs can have two objects, that is direct and indirect. That's all for the lesson. We'll be continuing with the verb pattern of this chapter in our next class. Thank you and have a good day ahead.